for a good album, 3 years is such a it's such a short time. Like good albums last
to still
10
be in
years,
the top 2,
20 years. Yeah. It's listen, I'm clearly on the other side of that. I think it's a testament to people creating good art if an album stays up that long. Or a song
it's also
stays
a
up that long.
testament. It's also a testament to an industry that's not growing the way it should be.
Ondiege Biro, nyara ondiege Biro, manyongi manino, dwaro kelo nito. Omiyo pinyo yuso, kikito, omiyo pinyo yuso, kikito, donjendo ema, donjo emiko, donjendo ema, donjo emiko, kangiyo televiso na neno pinyo chido.
What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 160 of the 30% podcast. I go by Afam, aka a fine African man. My co-host goes by Sam Are Jedediah Eliapenda, aka the greatest music producer that ever stepped on this land. And together we started this podcast because we wanted to highlight the Kenyan music industry and see Kenyan artists paid more and played more. And shout out to you guys for listening to us for 160 episodes. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, 160. Well, you dragged me into it. Shout out to you guys for listening to 160 episodes. Yes.
Shout out to y'all, man. I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, man. 160 episodes. Sam, tell us. Give us just a short speech.
The listeners are doing well. I think that's the first time you've ever said that.
I have.
Have you?
That's a lie. People listening to this podcast will completely call you out.
I don't think you've ever said,
there.
I hope you guys are doing well. You've never hoped well for the listeners. Anyway, that's good. We should make it a trend, actually. Or I have bad memory. I'm doing great.
I always no, Sam. I'm not letting go of this. I always do. You're the one who never acknowledges our listeners. May I always acknowledge the listeners and I have dialogue with the listeners. Isn't that right?
I know the kind of kid you are.
They're all saying
I know
yes,
the kind of kid you are. Like I know the kind of young man you were when you were growing up. What do you mean? So automatically,
what was I?
Because I pointed fingers at you, whether or not that's factual, you decided exactly just to turn around and point fingers at me again.
Yes, I did.
Afam.
Yes.
Why are you the way you are? When will you change? When?
But why should I? When will you change? Yes, I'm playing into the trope right now. Yeah, when will you change? I'm pointing the fingers at you. When will you change, Sam? Oh my God, guys, we didn't mean to start the podcast.
I would never change bickering. Can you imagine bickering like an old couple? What did you ask? How am I doing? I'm alright. I have stomach aches, pains. I ate something that didn't agree. I actually don't know where it came from. Now that I'm like, if I'm really thinking about my mid-region condition, I feel like it's because I did not eat or I chewed a pack of gum that I got a bad stomachache because I don't remember eating much. I don't know. What's the best way
to cure stomachache?
Yeah. And not like the light joint, like the one that stays throughout the day.
Oh, I don't know, man. I know the home remedy of I think it's 1 tablespoon of no, the one for dissolving 1 tablespoon of salt and then 7 tablespoons of sugar in water and then you drink that. That's like an old remedy out there. Maybe you could try that.
Tasty?
It's not the greatest, but like it is a thing. And then I don't know, maybe you just have to
someone said rub your tummy.
You know what? I will.
Apparently rubbing your tummy is supposed to help.
I'll send positive vibes. How about that, Sam? How about I will
That's
send
not
you
going to do
positive
anything.
vibes.
Anyway, yeah. Apart from that, I'm chilling. I'm a bit tired. What's going on? Positive vibes. Thank you for the positive
Well,
vibes. I really do hope my stomach acknowledges them and uses them for benefit and profit.
Sam has literally just called out all of you people who believe in positive vibes. So if you see Sam
Positive
out there,
vibes.
like, hey, but anyway, guys, I just wanna welcome you guys welcome you back to my book club. I just finished the book I mentioned last week, which was The Assassin's Apprentice. Phenomenal book by Robin Hobb. I couldn't put it down. I finished it in literally like 4 days. And it's a book. You know what I mean? Like it's a book. It's not like a storybook. But yeah, like I finished that amazing book. I've started the sequel. It's called The Royal Apprentice, The Royal Assassin.
This is number 2 out of 10.
And it's number 2 out of 10.
Wow.
It's just as good, man. So, hey, listen, if you guys are looking to get into a fantasy, I was going to say fantastical, but if you're looking to get into like a fantasy world and just get lost and delve into a different life, you know, and be someone else for a couple of hours, hey, listen to this book or read this book because it's phenomenal. Yeah, Sam, and that's really all I've done with my week.
That's all. You know, speaking of book reading, peer pressure, man. Peer pressure from just the one peer on this podcast. I think I want to get into, like I said, I was going to read Alex Ferguson's memoir. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to read Rick Rubin's book, The Creative Act, A Way of Being. Everywhere I look, it's like been recommended to me, so I really want to get into it. I'm going to start that this week, and I'll report my findings.
I have thoughts on Rick Rubin that I never thought I would have.
Okay, are we getting controversial? Is there a documentary about to come out?
Some people have been a bit frustrated with him because, you know, his whole philosophy is like, you know, he doesn't add to music as much as he subtracts. And, you know, he listens to a song and he strips it down to its bare minimum of what it needs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean? And a lot of people kind of are like, bro, this is just like some BS.
Oh, it's just... But it is though.
Yeah, because let me tell you, you know, Rick Rubin doesn't have like
socks.
I don't think. Well, even me,
He
to be
doesn't
honest,
own a
I
pair
don't
of
really
socks or
play
jeans.
any instruments. He doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think he plays any instruments
comb.
and stuff like that. But I get it. He doesn't have a comb either. But like, some people are a bit frustrated with him, but I do think he is. He's been a part of too many great things, like System of a Down's album, Toxicity. He was a huge part of that, and that's an amazing album. But some of his methods are a bit like, it's
Outlandish.
so guru-y.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know,
That's
people
the
need
brand.
more like solid and less like airy things. But I don't know. Anyway, read his biography. Tell me what it is. Maybe I'll.
The thing about
is it
that
a
is
biography or is it just a book?
it's a book, The Creative Act, A Way of Being. The thing about that is, really, you can say that about any artist. We're just saying it about him. You're just pointing that about him because of how he presents himself, sort of like his presentation, his brand, and everything. It looks very hippie-ish, very non-conventional. You can say that about anyone, honestly. Anyone who's creative. You can say that about art itself. So don't hate on Rick Rubin. It's Christmas time. You need to get him a comb.
How was your week?
So
Sam, how was your week?
keeping
Just
for-
tell us how your week was.
Oh man. I went out to see the Cavemen, but before I went out to see the Cavemen, I was part of a... Have you heard of the Industry Club?
No, I don't think I've heard of them.
Cool. All right. Well,
I might have,
let me...
but I don't think so.
You don't... Yeah, let me tell you about them. Well, it's... I don't think you would have heard of them because it's relatively new. The Industry Club. Industry Club is a cool little initiative that I think it is been in Nairobi might be the third city it's been in or the second. But it's an initiative that just aims to like talk about aims to facilitate conversations within the creative field, and from different aspects of creativity, different aspects of art, visual arts. There's music and sound, and there's like just different all across the board. So they had their show in Nairobi recently. It was in Westlands, and I was there for that. It was a very good show. There was, it's a basic, like, it's a panel, and then there's a moderator, and then there's a couple of topics. So there were like three main. It covered topics. There was subjects on technology, which was really cool. Just talking about technology and how we can use it to benefit art, especially in the age of the AI and all of that. So that was cool. And then there was another panel that brought on more like visual creators, brought on a set designer, a videographer, and just things along those, and a stylist, a fashion guy, just things along those lines to talk about like that aspect of things, and branding, and visual identities, and that. And then we also had like the more musical side, and it was just talking about how to really go about not leaving money on the table. Essentially was the idea there, is not leaving money on the table, and getting all the revenue you possibly could get as an artist, and as a musician. So it was really cool, man. A couple of good guys on there. We know a couple of them. Bilha from 1RPM was up there. She was cool. Shout out to Faye as well. She was up there. Philo was up there talking about pace.
Hey, Philo.
Yeah. So those are some of the ones I think that our listeners would know, because we've kind of spoken about them. But then it was actually a bunch of other people that I think were a wealth of information. Some not from Kenya, but then it was really good. A very good time. Couple of good questions were asked, and it was great. Fun. I enjoyed it. They, I think, would be leaving to do the show in another city. I want South Africa. I'm not sure. But yeah. So it's a very cool initiative. And I think they're going to bring it back again next year. So it'd be really cool to attend. If you're around, you should peep in. It's a very good thing. It was cool. The venue was really nice as well. Very cool, very clean, very rustic, very stone, and just it was fun. And then we had a good meal after. Oh my goodness. I actually ended up missing the Arsenal game because I was eating good food.
Despicable. He sold Arsenal out for food. You're like Esau. Is it Esau who sold his birthright for a plate
that's
of beans?
Dramatic.
That's you
kind of
right
extreme,
now, man.
isn't it? No, bro. Now, if you're eating some of that food, man, it was some cheese and crackers. It was a good lamb chop. It was you don't know what
cheese and crackers.
I sold Arsenal out for cheese and crackers.
What? Cheese and crackers is what you're leading with. Oh my god.
Yeah. So
wow.
Anyway, that was fun. That was super fun. And then just connecting and having like really cool conversations with like-minded people, and making possible like networking and all that. That was great. So that was fun. And then, like I say, the Cavemen were in town. Now, I'm not the most familiar. The Cavemen you're familiar with, right?
Here and there.
Here and there. Oh my goodness. You're 0 for 2. You're 0 for 2 for me asking you things now. No, Cavemen were in town. They were at Alchemist on Sunday. Okay. And I last minute, shout out to Aisha, man. Aisha got me some ticks. So I showed up last minute. It was cool. I actually just planned to have like a chill evening, and then said, "Yo, do you want to go for Cavemen?" And I was like, "Of course I want to go for Cavemen." So yeah, I wasn't 100% familiar with their. I mean, I knew some of their songs, the ones that are doing really well, but then I wasn't like 100. Like I haven't gone through all their projects, their albums and whatnot. But I decided to go. Of course, the place was packed. I got there just as Zaituni was performing. Hey, yo, let me tell you something. If there's one person I know has to... one thing I like about Zaituni? She, when she's on stage, like her songs are like part of her. You know how people go on stage and they perform their song to you? she was on stage like doing, and she's so brilliant. She was on stage and she was doing like different versions of her song. Like she wouldn't even sing the song the way you know it. Like she just do a different version, and that just shows like a different level of confidence in yourself as a performer to be able to move the crowd to something new and different from what they already know. And that was just brilliant, man. Zaituni killed it. Hey, yo, before I go, I just want to preface this by Alchemist. What's with the sound? We can't keep talking about sound. Like sometimes it was so difficult to hear.
Wow. I didn't know we were doing this. But hey, listen,
questions that everyone has.
I back my bro. If we have beef with Alchemist, let's go, man.
It's not beef.
I back you, bro.
It's not beef. It's not beef. It's not beef. It's just that at this point, and you know the thing about Zaituni's performance is, first, her voice has to be really crisp because of how she goes about it. Like if it's muffled, if it's not clear at all, you miss a lot. And she's always performed. Anariko was up there, her producer, was up there playing guitar. And I could barely hear his guitar. And he's like a really important part to the show. So that was kind of disappointing. But Zaituni still killed. She still killed. It was amazing. Of course, now the sound bleeds into what can. But anyway, Cavemen showed up. Let me tell you, Afam. Have you ever seen a performance? I'm talking about, first off, those guys are Cavemen are Nigerian, if no one knows, right? Those guys are, and they do more like high life sounding. So think like new age Fela Kuti type music.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it's like Fela Kuti with like modern themes, maybe modern rhythms and stuff like that. It's really good. It was very good. Like this was for me, it was a great, like now I'm going back to the albums to like listen to what these guys have been up to. But they got on stage. It's just the two of them. Then they had their bandmates. They had two guitarists and a percussionist. And then one of the guys, I think Benjamin, was on the drums, and then his partner, I'm blanking on his name right now, was playing bass. Two absolutely skilled people in what they're doing. I'm telling you, if I don't know whether, just go online at your own time and look for clips of that guy playing the drums. He plays the drums like they're an extension of him. It's not like he's performing the drums. He's using the drums to express himself. It was just, it was brilliant. And then he can play, and it was just fast rolls, and it was punchy, and oh my goodness, it was fantastic. I've not enjoyed a show like that in quite a bit of time. And then the guy on the bass as well, and it was a very well done show. Listen,
I love how passionate you are about this.
No, because
like you're so passionate about this.
I was standing there. I was like, this is amazing. And you would have loved the show again because Benjamin always sings in falsetto, and you've expressed to this podcast numerous times how you love it when men sing in falsetto, and that's like your thing. Like the whole show, you would have been geeking. I'm telling you, I saw grown men jumping up and down when people just mention, okay, we're going to do this next song.
You've done your job. Like you've definitely piqued my interest.
Yeah. It was crazy. I was just standing there and then just thinking, like, in terms of their perspective, like imagine getting to do that for a living, working the crowd and just feeling like energy from people around you and just like feeding into things that you came up with in your studio. Yeah, I just standing there, I was like, I don't know how an artist will come to this show and not leave wanting to like be better at performing at their craft. Like those guys were brilliant, absolutely brilliant, engaging the whole time. Anyway, it was just a great show, man. It was a great show. Shout out to the Cavemen. They brought the house down.
Like I say, I really like how passionate you are about this.
That was a good show. Good last minute show.
Listen, if you want to hear how passionate, because Sam does get very passionate about these things. Like he geeks out about sound and like
contrary to popular belief.
He does. And if you want to experience Sam's perspective on shows in real time, I will let you know that Sam will actually be at the Blankets and Wine that's coming up, and you guys can go and pester him. Actually, I really want you
don't
guys to
pester me.
go in that show. No, you go pester Sam and ask him for his opinions and things. Because let me tell you something about Sam. He's a very opinionated guy. You wouldn't know, but he really is. But yeah, I say this to say, Blankets and Wine invited us to their next edition, which is the Kenyan Summers edition. And yo, one thing that stood out to me is just like the lineup, you know, the fact that it's mostly Kenyans and everything. I think it's a really dope approach that they're taking. If there was anyone you would say you were most interested in seeing from the lineup, who would you say it is?
I mean, let me
why?
Let me run through the lineup, and then I'll say. So on the live stage, we got the Scorpion Kings, Mario, Iyani, Matata, Mikasa, Okelomax, Bridget Blue, Elsie Wameo, Saru, and Shad Mziki, and then Onja stage.
Hold on. Wait, even
on.
before you get to actually. No, get to the Onja stage. I want to say something about this. And then, wait, okay, go ahead.
Doneo, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Fuzak, Miss Micah, I don't know. Drama, Dark Fruit, Shishi is on there, Tina Dor, Ali Fresh, Mura, and Big Nyags. That is the lineup. That is a pretty stacked lineup too.
As you read this lineup, I'm just like, hey, these are all people that Sam is usually always mingling with. You know, when I'm talking to Sam on the side, I'm like, wait, Sam, you're such a superstar. I'm starting to call you Superstar Sam from now on. No, but for real, like, listen, literally, you're in a group with Ali Fresh, DJ Mura, and Big Nyags. Like,
okay, no, yeah, it's actually cool to see those,
Sam,
see
you're
those
out.
names up there.
No, Sam, you're out
the...
here. Like,
right.
Bro. Sam, listen, when I tell you guys Sam is actually out here doing things, you think I'm just gassing him up like for jokes because it's the podcast. But bro is actually out here mingling with the people in the industry right now. Sam is so industry. If we had an industry ranking, if we had an industry power ranking in the podcast, I'm sorry, but Sam is number one right now. Don't you agree with me?
No. I don't actually.
Silence
agree with you at all.
Means you are agreeing.
I don't agree with you. No, but it's definitely really cool. Tina Dor, of course, Tina Dor, Ali Fresh, Mura, and Big Nyags are in the Safari Uns collective. And yeah, and we've been working on music, so it's really cool to see them. At least those four names. Tina Dor has been doing like really amazing stuff, so it's very cool to see her. Ali Fresh just dropped a project. Mura has been releasing a couple of songs. Big Nyags also dropped a project this year. All really good.
Shishi has been in the scene for
years.
Man.
I keep seeing Shishi around as well.
Championing music, man.
Yes.
Shout out to Shishi. She's
really
so cool, man.
Really cool. So it's good to see some of those names. Of course, on the other side, we are talking Matata. I mean, having Matata up there is, at this point, Matata is as hot as, what did they say, hot as fish grease? Is that the saying?
They are as hot
what did they say about fish grease?
As the sun.
The sun? What? Anyway, Matata really hot. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Matata really hot. That was terrible. Matata really hot right now. Okello Max, is on there. Bridget Blue is on there. Elsie Wameo, she just dropped an EP. Also on there. Man. And Saru, Shad Mziki. Shad Mziki also just released music. Yeah, man, this is, you know what I like about this is that it's at least these are people who are actively releasing. And even if we're looking at the other guys, like we're looking at Scorpion Kings, we're looking at Mikasa. Mikasa just released a worldie of a song. It's called Termeis. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but my goodness, what a joint. It's like a slowed down Afro house. It's fantastic.
This is Sam. This is your bag, man. This is your bag.
No. It's a good start.
Because to be honest, I wouldn't say like I'm familiar with Mikasa's music if I'm being honest. So you'd have to put me on.
Yeah, no. Some of those artists. I mean, Scorpion Kings. Obviously, so Scorpion Kings are Maforiza and Kabza, which are two of. If you're talking about Amapiano, those are two of the names.
Okay, at least them I know.
Yes.
At least them I know. Them.
I'm proud of you,
I'm
man.
not too bad.
yeah. You're not.
Thank you.
You're not
Thank you
a
so
lost
much.
cause. You're not a
That
lost
means
cause.
a
So
lot
that's
to
their
me, actually. You don't
yeah.
understand.
They dropped an album
Um,
in 2019 with the name Scorpion King. So I guess that they're going with that as their moniker. But yeah, definitely, man. It looks like it'll be a good show. It looks very well balanced, I think.
It does, actually. And I was going to say, if you guys want to get like real-time 30% podcast
Oh yeah.
opinions from Sam,
Yeah.
you can
Oh,
find him there on the 21st of December. It's going to be at the Laureate Gardens, Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. And the tickets available right now are the early access tickets for 4,500, the soft life tickets for 20,000, and as well as the Hennessy Terrace experience for 20,000. And guys, want to also let you know that Blankets and Wine were kind enough to give us 2 tickets to share with you guys. And bro, like, we have wanted to give you guys something for a while. And so this is the perfect opportunity to kind of share something with you guys. So Sam, I was thinking we could, I don't know. First of all, Sam and I are just like, we're just people who record a podcast. So what we're gonna say is
we're
like
just people
and
who
comment.
record a podcast.
Who record a podcast.
That is actually factual. That is true. That must be the most
It's so
truthful
true.
thing you've said all day. Yeah.
It really is. So we want to just say, you can like and comment on our most recent post on Instagram and tell us what you think was your favorite or your most memorable moment on the podcast since
And
we started.
All 3 years of our
And
existence. It's actually going to be 3 years, like completely at the end of December.
I can't be Sam. We actually need to do something. We've never like really like celebrated this podcast.
We can have-
this is the
we can have a
perfect
Zoom
time
party.
to be sentimental.
We can have a Zoom party.
We can do better than that. We can do.
We can have a Zoom party. You know what I think? Yeah, we can have a Zoom party and just send out the link and invite like random people to come on the Zoom party and just kick it. That's what we can do.
I
That'll
don't
be
know
fun.
how I feel about. I don't know how I feel about a Zoom party. But anyway,
Well.
moving along swiftly.
Just shut it down then. All right.
So, I don't know if I back a Zoom party. But anyway, I was just saying, so we're gonna announce who won the tickets next week, Wednesday. So you'll find out. So, like we said, just leave a like on our most recent post on Instagram, and then leave a comment saying what your favorite moment in the podcast has been, and we'll select one of you people, or no, actually 2 of you people.
Yeah.
Get a ticket for Blankets and Wine, and make sure you pester Sam. Please, just disturb him. You know, Sam is actually an outrovert. He's an outrovert. He's an extrovert, and he loves when people come up to him and just ask him many questions. So please, just go up to Sam and ask him all the questions in the world. Sam, you were saying?
Of course, Blankets and Wine are coming
Yes, sir.
off a September edition that kind of went. It was. Let me just say, there was a lot of talk about it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
I feel
how
like
it works or how they progress.
I feel
Hopefully
like
they
one
do.
of the critiques, one of the critiques was there being more Kenyan. Like, I remember somebody was telling me like they wanted to hear more Kenyan music in between sets and stuff like that. It feels like they listened to that feedback and kind of decided, okay, you know what, we're gonna give you guys a more Kenyan experience. So I think that's actually good in terms of listening to feedback and stuff like that. But yeah, they still, the sound experience. How are they going to figure out the numbers? I don't know if as many now they'll have, because it was Thames last time, so obviously that was bound to be crazy. But hey, Sam, this is why you're going to be there. You're going to be there to give us first-hand information as to how the experience was. So look out for that.
If I'm really thinking about it, sometimes that might also just be up to the DJs, right? Unless there's an explicit like I don't say instruction, but then explicit like to the DJs, like only like play more Kenyan music and stuff. So sometimes it's just up to the DJs, because the DJ is also just going like vibes and stuff. But yeah, there's definitely a good lineup. I've watched Tina perform. I've watched Ali Fresh, Mura, Big Nyaks perform, and Shishi as well. So I mean, I'm not completely familiar with the others. I'll be there to see what they do, but I mean, hopefully that some of the things that were addressed in the last edition are um like there's progress on that, and sort of like they've been fixed, for lack of a better word. But yeah, it should be fun, man. You guys should pop out, support some of these Kenyan acts and the Tanzanian acts
For
on there,
real.
and the South African acts.
Okay,
But
Sam, now you're going to go into everybody's ethnicity and where they're from.
where they're from, right? Yeah.
No, I was going to say, in relation to the whole Kenyan like aspect of things and how people are more Kenyan forward. That's why we started this podcast, because we want to see more Kenyan music highlighted. Sam, how do you feel about the recent Spotify Wrapped? Because I'm not gonna lie, I did see more Kenyan artists on people's lists, and I think that's a really, really good indication as to where the industry is going. At least more people are supportive of Kenyan acts than has been ever before, especially on streaming platforms, because the streaming uptake, or the uptake of people streaming music on these DSPs, hasn't been fast, but we're getting there. We're catching up. And yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like that more people are listening to Kenyan music. There were some interesting conversations, though. So there were some interesting side chats on Twitter about who was not on many people's top 5 or top 10s. I don't know if you want to start that beef on this podcast, but aside from that,
We can leave that one where it is.
let's leave that one. There's an article here I'm reading, and they're saying some emerging artists registered some of the most notable gains on the Spotify charts, such as Njerai, Toxic Lyrically, Watendawili. They each entered Kenya's top streaming list for the first time. Njerai's Akisioni was the most streamed song in the country in 2025, which is crazy, ahead of both local and international releases. Spotify data also shows that listeners aged between 18 and 24 accounted to the highest volume of streams for the track. So I think these numbers will just keep on improving. I don't know. What do you think, Sam?
I mean, it's of course it's definitely cool. It's an indication that more people are willing to get the music where it is, like streaming and stuff. I mean, if more people are listening to our Kenyan artists, that means more people are getting on the platform to listen to the Kenyan artists, which is a good thing. Because something that we've talked about. But it's also good that that at least the artists are available for that. So the Kenyan music trend, the music industry, I think is on an upward trend. If I'm not being too optimistic, I think it's on an upward trend. I think there's a lot of artists who are a little bit more focused in terms of just putting out art and releasing music, and all of that, and being intentional and consistent. Like we've had a lot of consistency this year from many different artists. We've had a bunch of projects. We have had a bunch of singles. There's been a few remixes. It's been really good. So it's been a lot to indulge in, which is great. And of course, like if we look at some of the lists, I mean the list of like the top artists, like these names are there. Cardinali is on there, Benso, Iwaya Tajiri, Watendawili, Njerai. Like these are names that it doesn't seem foreign. Like where did they come from? Like these are names that have been releasing consistently. So it's good to see. Hey, listen, it's good to see. This is what people have been waiting for. Hopefully now, as we progress in terms of like, this has been a big year, especially for the Unts and for Afro House and just that side of music, with the DJs and just releases on our own. We've seen a couple of other people release consistently and release some really good music. So that's cool. I mean, I don't think that's going to stop. I think that's going to continue next year as well. And then also hoping that more genres sort of have the type of year that Uns had, in terms of just recognition. But yeah, no, there's been a lot of good music. So I shout out to every single artist who released, though. You're all a part of whether you got one stream or a million, like you're part of the year, part of 2025 KE music.
Sam, you're one of those people who gives everyone a participation trophy, right?
In a way that makes
that's
sense.
so nice.
It makes sense though. It makes sense. Like if you release music, whether it's one stream or hopefully it's more than 1,000. Because
You're a
Spotify
winner in
isn't
Sam's
giving
heart.
You're definitely not a winner in Spotify's heart unless you have more than 1,000 streams. But yeah, no, it's very good. It's very good. Shout out to every one of them.
So here's the list of top streamed Kenyan songs. So number 1, like we mentioned, is Njerai Akisioni. Number 2 is Mutoria, Better. Number 3, Charisma, Sinanoma. Number 4, Matata Watendawili with Inakubalika. Number 5, Bensoul, Bien, Extra Pressure. Toxic Lyrically, number 6 with Backbencher. Then also following that is Chinje. Then 2 Watendawili songs, Chamthum and Hadikesho. And then finally Savara with Show You Off. But I'm calling cap on this list a bit because why is Donjo Maber not here? Donjo Maber has more streams than... I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, look. Look, now you're doubting
now I'm
it.
doubting everything.
How are you
Everything
doubting
feels
it?
fake now.
How are you
like
doubting
my I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
No, Donja Maber is there. It's at number 24. It's at number
Really?
24. So it's still on there. Yeah. Donja Maber is at 24. Set It by Diana Chords, which was last year. Was that this year or last year? Anyway, that's number 21. That didn't make the top 20. It's interesting. It's interesting seeing. Dang, South Soul is still up here. Midnight Train. We need to have a conversation about Midnight Train though. Midnight Train has kind of stayed. It's stayed.
But
in the
I
conversation
don't know
for
if
a long
that's
time.
so that's a great point that you brought up. I don't know if that's a good thing because there's no reason, no shade to Sauti Sol. Let me start there. But there's no reason why that should still be in the top streamed Kenyan albums right now. There's no reason why that makes
Why
any
though?
sense.
No. You can't say that.
Yes,
But
I
it was
can.
a good album.
No,
If
yes,
it's a good album, it's going like good albums stay
no,
on
yes,
charts.
I can say that because good albums. Yes, good albums are great, but the sign of a healthy industry is one where we're creating albums that surpass things that already came before. That's the sign of a healthy industry, in my opinion. Like,
I don't know if
that's my.
okay.
It's you can disagree with me. That's fine. I just think that there's no way. Like, there's no way. Midnight. When did Midnight Train come out? Was it 2020? When did it come out?
2020. That was 2020.
Yeah.
COVID times, yeah.
Bro, there's no way the site. So this just goes to, and we've had this conversation before, the fact that Kenyans don't especially Kenyan artists, they don't put too much stock in releasing projects. Because if we put a lot of stock in releasing albums and really like paying attention to releasing high quality albums, there's no way Midnight Train needs to be on a top 10. It needs to be number 2 in a top 10 list, like in 2025.
You know, I don't agree with you because if you look at like other charts, other industries, like for example, if you look at the Billboard charts and stuff, you'll see albums that were released 7-8 years ago still on the chart. So if an album is good,
as number 2 or number 1,
yeah, but the album is good. Like, what do you want from them? They made a
number
fantastic
2 or
project
number
that people
1.
are still want to listen to. Yeah, but see, your point will be valid if people aren't releasing good music. Like we've had a lot of people release really good albums again this year. Like very, very, very well put together albums. But Midnight Train is still good. If there was no good albums and Midnight Train was up there, then that would be the issue. But Midnight Train is good, and they've been
you're not understanding.
good releases.
Okay, but don't mean like my point isn't that Midnight Train is a bad album or isn't good enough to be like it's a good album, fine, that's great. But are we not creating good enough or compelling enough music in the recent past for to be able to surpass what's already come before? Then our industry is just going to be stale with old music that's just there, like staying in the top 10 charts. No, I would rather an industry where I would be excited because there's new artists creating new albums that are as good or better as what came before. That's just my opinion. So me seeing Sauti Soul...
Is that just a Midnight Train thing or are you doing it for like even more modern artists? Like, so if, for example, if someone dropped an album in a project in 2022 and it's still up there and it's part of the like the top 10, would you still have that
Yes, I would feel exactly the same way. It's not about the fact that Sauti Sol are a mainstay in our industry. That's not the thing. Even the fact that Alusa Why Are You Topless is still the number one most streamed Kenyan album in 2025 when that project came out in 2020. Was it 3 even or 2024? Either way, we should have new stuff like newer
late
things.
23, November 23.
Even then, I'm not so mad at Alusa Why You Topless being number one. It's just that an album that's 5 years old, surely, guys, it can't be number 2 on the list still. For me, this is more really I think what I'm speaking to is like artists in general. Like, I think we need to take it upon ourselves to create like really good bodies of work, because this is not correct, in my opinion. I just feel like, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I feel like we need there needs to be fresh, like we need to have an ecosystem where there's more like new music that's coming up and like taking these places and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I just think that's the case. That should be the case.
Okay, but I mean, but if you're looking at it that way, like, what's your cutoff in terms of like time? Like, do you have
Like,
a time
if after
cutoff, or how does that work?
Not really, but if after like 3 years you're telling me an album that came out 3 years ago is still top 2, like, come on, like, shout out to you, but like, bro,
for a good album, 3 years is such a small, it's such a short time. Like, good albums last
to still
10
be in the
years,
top 2.
20 years. Yeah. It's listen, I'm clearly on the other side of that. I think it's a testament to people creating good art if an album stays up that long. Or a song
It's also
stays
a
up that long.
testament. It's also a testament to an industry that's not growing the way it should be.
The most streamed song is Akisioni by Njerai. That came out 2022. Like,
I'm talking about still. That's also problematic. That's also problematic, don't you
Dang.
think?
No, I do not. I think if the song still resonates with people today, like if it's still going viral and people are still making TikToks about it and they're still streaming it at that level, I think that like, if it's good music, I don't think good music should come and go. If it's good music, one of the indicators of good music is its longevity. And this is what we're seeing. We are seeing that with with Sauti Sol's projects. We're seeing that with some of the other projects. If you go look at other charts, not necessarily Spotify, but then a lot of Wakadinali's old projects are still up there because people are enjoying them and listening to them like that. It's an indicator that some good music is being made. And isn't that the gripe that people have had with Kenya music sometimes, that sometimes it doesn't feel like we're making good enough music that can stay.
But it's not about the fact that I'm saying like projects should come and go. I'm not saying that. I feel like I would be okay if, like, when you talk about longevity, right? I want to see Midnight Train, Midnight Soul, still in the conversation, but it should be like it could be still in the top 20, right? That's fine. If it's number 18 and it's still in the charts and in the conversation, that's great. It shows how great that project is. But if it's still in the top 2, that means that nobody is creating music that's on par or better, and that's problematic. That's all I'm saying.
But I mean, I do understand what you're saying. I get it. Like, if we are creating, if like the quantity of quality music is a lot, then albums would stay up a lot less, because then they get replaced really quickly with, oh no, I like this now. Oh my goodness, no, this is amazing. I like this now.
If you even look at the like Nigerian industry, man, there's always some kid somewhere who's all of a sudden coming up with like some really great music, and all of a sudden like the top 10 lists in an industry like Nigeria won't stay that stagnant. Because there's so many different people coming up with really good music, and it's like, yo, you know what? For 2025, like we're listening to Zay Level 10 and Mavo. You know what I mean? But now, if you want to tell me like in 2025, people are still saying, oh, yo, Twice As Tall is still number 2 in the top streamed Nigerian albums, that's problematic. You have to grow past just like having Burna Boy as the only guy who's doing things. You have to have like smaller artists also getting to that level, if not even also surpassing these artists. Otherwise, the industry, this is why nobody likes monopolies on stuff like that. Because if you have monopolies and only one entity or like very few entities are doing well, there's no real growth. And what happens to the industry when those entities aren't producing as much music anymore, or their quality has decreased? And what happens to the industry then? There's just a vacuum and no one ready to fill it. You need competition. And you need people like actively releasing high quality projects, competing with each other and toppling the charts, so that like they're all struggling to be number one. That's how people get better. That's how an industry improves. If we are still listening to the old albums, and this is no like fault of Sauti Souls, but if their project is still number 2, then it just shows that there's not much high quality music being consumed at a high level, and that, in my opinion, is a very scary thing. It's scary, and for me, it makes me uncomfortable. For me, it makes me uncomfortable.
I feel like that would be also an indicator that at least that there's high quality music. You know, that for me is like a positive thing if it's still up there, unless it's all gas. But then I think it would be very rare for an album to stay up, especially in Kenya, to stay up that long, because streaming is still something that we're kind of getting into and used to. So for projects to stay up that long, I feel like it's a good indicator of how good the project is. But yeah, no, we do need more people to step up again. Hopefully 2024 was a good year of music. A really good year of music. So,
2026 we get crazier.
Yeah. 2026 we get crazier. So that's Anyway, shout out to all these artists, man. Listen, if you're part of the top lists, like it's not something to take for granted. Of all the artists in Kenya, like you made it. So, again, here's some more participation trophies.
And speaking of Wrapped, and then we'll get into new music. I just want to shout out, because there's also Wrapped for podcasts and stuff like that. Want to shout out to you guys for supporting the podcast. This was the top podcast for like 48 people. So shout out to you guys if this was a top podcast that you listened to. We don't take that for granted. Super thankful that you guys spend your time listening to this podcast. I do like the new direction that they took with Wrapped, in the sense that like I feel like they listened to people complaining last year. It felt a bit low effort, and this year they really did put a little bit of effort to make it more interesting. So yeah, that was one thing. That was one of my key takeaways. Another takeaway was from a commenter who said the reason why things like Wrapped are so successful is because people are obsessed with themselves. And I don't know. Do you agree with that statement? Do you think is that true?
Well,
like,
not necessarily. I think it's fun to. I think data sometimes is fun. I think data sometimes it might not be obsession, but then I think it's like a unique. It's just like you're looking into your life to see what you've kind of been doing. Like I said it, I think the last time we were talking about the Wrapped, and it's like I really want to see like my life Wrapped. Like I want to see what I've been doing, how many times
same, bro.
I embarrassed myself in public. I want to see how many times I sneezed. Like that's good data. I mean, I don't know whether that'll be useful, but that would be good.
I want to know how many grains of rice I have eaten. I really want to know that. Like, please.
It's just fun. It's just fun stuff to know, I think. So it's
how many times have you narrowly escaped death? I'm sure there's a number.
Just Afam to take it down that right. Then I'm usually called the dark one. Why would you even bring that up? Like, why would that be fun for you? Just watching how many times you've narrowly escaped death. That's just you. I think you're the only one who wants those stats.
Sam, I want all the stats. Sam, I want all the stats. I want to know how many times I used it. I want to know how many times I used the bathroom. I want to know how many gallons of saliva I've produced in my life. I'm sorry, I know that's disgusting, but I want to know that. You don't want to know all that stuff?
Terrible. No, there's some things I think are useful. There's things I think are useful. Like Like how many steps I've taken in total. Like I want to know that. I
Yeah,
don't want to
same.
know
I
if
also want to know that. I also want to know that
if
as well.
I almost died and how many times what if you find out that one day you almost died 8 times? How are you going to live your life? Will you leave the house the next day? Really?
I mean, okay. If I found that out now, obviously I would be a bit
See?
shook for sure. But like, okay, I would like it if you gave it to me. Like, you know how in games you have like save points. So if every decade, like every 10 years, like you were giving me the stats from the 10 years, that would be nice. I would like to know what happened in the last 10 years. You know what I mean? So, bro, life wrapped. I like it.
Life wrapped.
I'm
Life wrapped.
Yo, life wrapped, bro. Yo, speaking of new music, you want to talk about the stuff that came out
Let's
this
get
week?
into some new music. I mean, this week I've been super busy. I haven't had time to like sit down and like listen to music like I usually do. Just a couple of things
Oh
that came
my,
out.
what? Really, Sam? I would never. I always. Okay, no, actually, let me stop.
Don't let me blow you up. Don't let me blow up your spot. Just remain calm. Stay calm there. No, but I went to a couple of songs.
Okay.
I had a couple of joints off the Ben Soul and Vic West project, All Hands on Deck. So a couple of songs I need to again listen to that a little bit more and sit with it. Honestly, I don't have much. You're going to have to point us to more stuff. I did peep the Labdi song. That was good. Labdi always stays bringing some good music.
Labdi was amazing.
Yeah.
Labdi, bro, anytime Labdi releases music, I'm never disappointed. Which is just like, bro, the quality of the stuff that she produces. And then also, like her songs feel so like they're in communication with each other. It feels like a continuation of all her music. Like it feels, I think Labdi is one of the most underrated artists in our industry right now, who deserves so much more. Like I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's just how I feel.
That's true. Yeah, a couple of more people. MGM, Coley, CLN released Shera a 3-step. It's a 3-step remix of that. MGM Kenya, another Afro House producer, doing really good things. Speaking of Afro House producers, we got a banger from Nes Mburu and DJ Gibbsy. And then Amelisa Chume and Nes Mburu again. Dang, Nes Mburu been dropping music. Guys are working. So yeah, got a couple of bangers from them. I definitely need to. I sound very, very. I feel like I haven't done my due diligence this week. I need to go back and sit down and listen intently. But yeah, a couple of good releases though. A good couple of good releases.
Okay, so let me tag in. So I listened to Pure Hate by XO. Shout out to XO. Bruce's trajectory has been going up and up and up. Waza by Keithan. I think that's actually a really, really solid, strong release this week. I also listened to Zoza by Dufla and Furthermore. Slithering by Dinah Cods and Tipsy G. I'm a huge fan of that song. Let's see. I also listened to Run Nairobi by Hitman Cat. I've never heard of Hitman Cat before. I don't know if I sound uninformed by admitting that. But shout out to Hitman Cat. Let me see. Go Figure by Albizi. Shout out to Albizi. Albizi has been dropping more recently, and I feel like his presence is growing. I saw Lil Maina posting about Albizi on his story. I think Lil Maina has started rolling out his new project, and Albizi is going to feature in there. So shout out to them. I also listened to Niambie by Joy Njoki and Rasa Moore. I haven't heard too much of Joy Njoki, but what I've heard, phenomenal. I think Joy Njoki is a really, really like she has so much potential. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, what else did I listen to? Doggy by Josephine Tesla and Spoken Salatone. Yeah, shout out to Black Markets Records. Like these guys release like every week. And and then I wanted to shout out Stories Untold by Zinia and Shudu Musida. I mean, like the gravity of the topic of what they're speaking about, with the gender-based violence. They used the purple background for the artwork and everything. There was also a music video which you guys should check out. I really think it's important to use your platform to release music that's not always just about entertainment, but also talking about like pertinent issues within like society. So shout out to Zinia for using her platform that way. And yeah, man, Sam, what would you like to play for the end of the podcast?
Before you get there, one of the other songs, and I don't, maybe we can have like a full bit longer discussion on it. But then the artist Ria. We have Kenya Kenya has their first AI artist.
God.
Ria, RIIYA. Oh my goodness, I don't think I've been so annoyed before in my life. Like the moment I clicked on that profile, I just knew. You just can't tell. And then if you go to another thing you can tell, if you go to her Spotify page, she's dropped maybe 300,000 songs all in 2025. And that's the thing about AI. AI just, it's output. But it's just like, it doesn't sound like a Kenyan, doesn't feel Kenyan. It just feels like vocals taken from a Western artist and a couple of maybe Swahili songs in there. It's just lifeless. And I'm sorry, I mean, just someone is there like really creating this thing and bouncing them and like, oh, this thing is amazing, it's going to change my life. But no.
I think Christian Della guy is behind it. I'm not a fan,
it's
to be honest.
It's the same backlash that Timbaland got when he released his AI, what do you call it? I'm just bringing it up because it's interesting. It's interesting seeing that like we have our own AI artists now.
They even have they've created a social media for Ria and everything. Like,
yeah.
I'm over it. It's just soulless and boring.
Yes, Ria doesn't get a shout out from us. Ria does not get a shout out from us. No shout out.
What's the opposite of shout out? Talk quietly down to you.
Yeah. No. Hush. She gets a hush. She gets a hush from us. She gets a
hush down. She gets a hush down from us. But you're gonna tell us what song we want to play for the end of the pod.
Yeah. Let's go. Again, one of the groups, I would say, and individuals as well, who have been really doing well, who did really well this year. They had a fantastic 2024 and an absolutely fantastic 2025. A mix between just releasing their own music and being part of other people's projects. Watendawili. I mean, shout out to those boys, man. It's been good seeing them like elevate from just being like there's I think in Kenya there's been like a lot of like just boy bands that kind of do well and then they sort of fade out or go solo or whatever. But then these guys are here and hopefully they're here to stay. Shout out to them. They teamed up with Bwoy this week. And yeah, I mean, I instantly liked it. It was it's just a good feel good joint. So this week we are going to Bwoy and Watendawili. And the song is called Tumewaka.
Mama yo, sherehe taki uzembe, mwenye talala ni mnyonge, niko madrinks na matembe, kaende, ikifika kwa mechi, niteni kadenge, sijaikosa mpira, sina tilalila, tuko mangwai tukiwatch Black Mirror, hizi makuki hazishiki woi, tunasikiza doba za Bwoy, hadi mi leo siroroi, nimezungukwa na mademo maroroi woi, na wananilola, wanapenda nikisema tumora. Tumewaka zaidi ya jua, akileo ni kuchafua, pigieni mama fua. Tumewaka zaidi ya jua, akileo ni kuchafua, pigieni mama fua. Tumewaka.
Umbolo, baby, umbolo, yes I'm loving the way that you do dumbolo. Umbolo, baby, umbolo, yes I'm loving the way that you do dumbolo.
Ukoni wapi, hatuogopi serikali, pitisha kitu wewe, hapa si uwasha hadharani. Niko na swali,
wewe ulikuja na nani? Ukitingisho nani tulizo nani toa kisirani. Vunja mugongo, vunja mugongo, vunja mugongo, pelekwa sipedali. Vunja mugongo, vunja mugongo, vunja mugongo, wambie ni ajali. Do 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 do, kuja tucheze dombolo. Do 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 mama, Joe 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 Joe, nionyeshe mastingo. Nataka kuingia kwa zona wewe.
Tumewaka, tumewaka zaidi ya jua. Akiloni kuchafua, pigieni mama fua. Tumewaka, tumewaka, tumewaka zaidi ya jua. Akiloni kuchafua, pigieni mama fua. Tumewaka.
Ombolo, baby, ombolo. Yes, I'm loving the way that you do dombolo. Ombolo, baby, ombolo. Yes, I'm loving the way that you do dombolo.
Kuna Muratina na Mamzinga. Hakuna pombe neza tushinda, zetu zimekana shi. Sidai fake energy, nimerelax na mama wa mi. Wapende wasipende, leo sherehe lazima niende. Siwezi kaa kwa nyumba kama burukenge, mtoto akililia wembe ajengwe. Do 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 do, uje tucheze dombolo. Dom 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 mama, John 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 John, nionyeshe mastingo. Nataka ningie kwa zona wewe. Tumewaka, tumewaka zaidi ya jua. Akiloni kuchafua, pigieni mama fua. Tumewaka, tumewaka, tumewaka zaidi ya jua. Akiloni kuchafua, pigieni mama fua. Tumewaka.
That's Arab Boy, Watendawili with Tumewaka. It's a feel-good joint, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to Arab Boy again.
And shout out to
man.
you guys for listening to the podcast 160 times. Sam is not joining me in the claps, but
You're always trying to make me look
I
like
will.
an evil guy. And we're going to have a conversation about that one day. You're always trying to make me look evil in front of people.
We're gonna
And I
talk
don't know
about this
why.
on the side.
It's
What?
good cop. You're always trying to play good cop, bad cop. And it's not going to work, honestly.
What?
Because I don't care.
That is
Wait till
so
I-
not true, man.
Wait till I
That's
show you.
so
Wait till
not
I
true.
show you. I don't care at all. Anyway. You know what? You
but
can be the
you-
good and the bad cop. It's fine. Just be the police yourself. I'm cool. I'll be over here when you're done.
No. We don't do that over here, man. But anyway, I was just gonna say, shout out to you guys as always. Like we said, we started this podcast because we wanted to see Kenyan artists get paid more and played more. And I think we're making positive steps. Bro, Sam, there's genuinely a difference between when we started this podcast and where we are at now. I think there's more focus on Kenyan artists and Kenyan music. I think there is still so much more work to be done, but we're getting there, and that's good. And if you're new here, I usually like to end this podcast with the 3 C's, which is a daily mantra that I like to tell myself because I'm not perfect and I'm trying to become a better creative. The first C is confidence. You need to be confident in your art. That's the first thing that people are going to see when they interface with your music. Is he a confident dude? And if you are, bro, like people are going to like your music. I was watching this dude Nico Omilana, and he's a dope YouTuber, and he's in the group Beta Squad. And bro, a lot of his thing is his content is confidence based. Like this guy will say, "Yo, I'm going to go to this hotel and pretend that I am a visitor and go and swim in the pool." And it's just all about like acting like you have to be, like you deserve to be there. Like, and that's what tricks people. Because if you have that confidence, like, yo, this is where I'm meant to be and stuff like that, people don't ask you many questions. They kind of like, yeah, here's the confidence. Anyway, I digress. You just have to be confident in life. Number 2, consistency. Always be consistent because consistency is better than talent. Hard work beats talent all the time. That's a fact. And number 3, craft. Always work on your craft. Dedicate some time to watching some tutorials if you're in the music industry. Try and broaden your knowledge base. Just small things add up and become big things later. So yeah, man. Sam, tell us what's on your heart.
Not much. My heart is cold and empty.
Yani, you don't even want to tell your people that you love them, like the people listening. That's not something
Arctic desert. Oh, nothing, man. Listen, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. I don't have anything to say. Maybe I'll have something for you guys next. There's actually something I want to read. I'll read it the next episode.
Easy.
When I find it. But yeah, it's a very cool. I heard it on another podcast and I thought it was very brilliant. It's just a good perspective. Anyway, I don't want to unnecessary suspense.
Now look,
but
Sam,
no,
we are going
I'll
to be
find it and listen
curious
to it.
about that for the next 7 days. Like,
Yes, please be.
come on.
I want you to think
thanks.
about it every day. Think about it. every
Sam is
single
one
day.
of those
Dream
guys.
it.
Sam is one of those guys who, when he's texting like a significant other, he'll be like,
A significant other.
he'll
And
be
I'm
like,
texting
"Yo."
what? A significant
Yeah,
other. That's funny.
He'll be like, yo, I want to tell you something. And then he'll leave you on red for the whole day. Now you'll have to just wonder what's happening. Like, is it something bad? Is it something good? Like, bro,
yeah.
that's
No, you have
you,
to keep people
Sam.
guessing.
That's you. That's
Especially
you. That's
significant
what you
others.
do.
Especially significant others. You have to keep them guessing.
That's horrible, man. Look at me playing good cop, bad cop again. Anyway,
You're playing all the cops by yourself.
Yo,
You are the cops.
Sam. I actually have to have an intervention with you right now. Why do you always make these outros so like long and awkward and like, bro, Sam, come on. What's like, why?
One of us is talking and one of us is not. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast episode. We appreciate you. Again, don't forget to like the post, comment. What was your favorite moment from the podcast? And I'm going to do the promo thing. Stand a chance to win. But no, we got a couple of tickets that you guys could use for the Blankets on Wine show, and it'll be cool. It'll be cool to see you guys there. So
Yes, sir.
do the things.
All right, see you guys on episode 161.